everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are, whatever you are doing. How is everybody doing? Well, here, Spawn, I has arrived. You're here. I mean, I don't know what to say to this. This is going to be a relatively quick stream. There's not a lot to talk about. It is just one of those things that we just have to talk about because it's an important update, and it leaves questions that I really can't say I know the answer to. I don't really know where we could go from here. Hey Allie, Sandra, good morning. Philip, they lost another loiler. And Spawn, you have the link. So EMS for life, how are you? Tammy, one of my Tammy crews. Eric, how are you? Debbie, Jim, well, this is going to be interesting. Well, it's not like we didn't kind of see this coming. Because at the same, it's one of those things. We'll read it and then we'll talk about it. It's only 2 pages. You're so confused. Oh no. Oh, JH mentioned my channel on last night's live. Well, I'm sure it wasn't anything important, but I'm sure the hater channels will find some way to spin it that because Jeremy mentioned me, we're in cahoots or some shit like that. I don't know. Hi, Susanna. Blood monster metal detecting. That sounds super interesting. Metal detecting is one of those things that's just weird to me. I don't understand how a metal detector works. I know how the theory of a metal detector works. I just don't know how to operate one. I'm searching for things, but around here, things that you find are generally relics from generations past, and you might get in trouble for taking them. And coming to the stage is everybody's favorite troublemaker, Spawn Trooper.
That is so not true. I'm echoing and I'm trying to figure out where it's coming from.
Okay. You do you. And you let me know. I frankly, I'm in my pajamas. I was out in the garden. I got out in the house, took a shower, and I'm like, why am I going to get dressed when I am just going to go to sleep in a couple hours? So I just put on my pajamas. So this is this is Squid going to bed. No makeup. I put moisturizer on, but that's about as good as we can get. Hey, sweet fly. Yeah. Oh boy, here we go. Not in this one, but that still remains. I'm not sure.
Now I know why.
I'm not sure how I feel about not sure how I feel about something because there's positives to it, but there's also negatives to it because with him being relieved from duty, so to speak, there's no more ridiculous filings to make fun of.
No. He may be terminated from the actual case, but he's still receiving documents, and he's got a certain amount of time to get copies of all the documents to Lynette and the other idiot. But what gets me is that I think with this terminating his position as defense lawyer is just the start of his nightmare. Because to be perfectly honest with you, we all know he's much used as a fart in a spacesuit, and he's basically caused all this.
That's disgusting. On 800 million levels.
Wait, what are you on about? The fart in a spacesuit, or that he's actually got the ability to wear a spacesuit?
Both. I can't imagine him being bright enough to be a astronaut. But
Fantasy
all right, so we're just gonna get into this. We'll read it and then we'll discuss it afterwards. Yeah, and that is so weird to me because how do you fire someone? How do you say you're fired and then still want them to work with you? Which means something is hinky. Yeah, and Cynthia, hopefully he will be smart enough to hire a lawyer.
But don't forget, he still has to represent them until they can either get new legal representation or they end up representing themselves. That's what.
All right, we'll just get into this. From an order, this matter before the court on a motion to withdraw as attorney, document 126, that was filed by defendant's counsel. In the motion, defendant's counsel states that he seeks to withdraw because his clients have discharged him as their attorney. That part I'm not necessarily in 100% agreement with. I just have a feeling that they had no idea about this until after it happened. In which case, if that's the truth, I feel bad for them. Like, I mean, I'm not fans of Lynette and John, but however, that being said, that's just shitty conduct on the part of a lawyer. It doesn't matter if I like the defendant or not. I mean, it's just, from a human level, that just sucks. If my theory is correct, I don't know if it is. I wasn't there. I don't pay attention to that stuff. No one tells me anything. It just seems that he was a good lawyer to them, good lawyer to them, good lawyer to them. And all of a sudden, the day before he's supposed to show up, or the day he is supposed to show up in Florida, he all of a sudden gets fired. I just don't, that just doesn't seem right. Because Lynette seems like the type of person that if she wasn't happy with somebody, she would let everybody know. She just strikes me as that kind of person. Like, if she's not happy with somebody, she generally lets them know. She just seems like that kind of personality to me. I could be wrong, but like,
There's a lot of cloak and dagger going on. The thing is, when he put that motion in stating that he's withdrawing, the withdrawal motion, and that he was fired by them, if he was fired by them, why is he being terminated?
I mean, technically speaking, they don't need cause, but it just makes you wonder. Upon review of the motion, it is hereby ordered that 1, the motion to withdraw as attorney, document 126, is granted. Bruce P. Matskin is relieved of further representation of defendant on this case. The court will reserve jurisdiction to decide the issue of sanctions against Mr. Matskin, so you're not off the hook just because you're gone as their representation. Therefore, the clerk of court shall ensure that Mr. Matskin continues to receive docket entry notifications even though he is no longer counsel for defendants. The judge not letting that go. Not letting it go. Mr. Matskin must provide defendants with a copy of this order. He also must provide defendants with a complete and accurate copy of their entire file within 7 days of this order. Except for the previously ordered response by plaintiff to document 131, this matter is stayed for 30 days from today's date to allow defendants time to locate new counsel. If new counsel does not enter an appearance within that 30-day period, then the case will proceed with defendants representing themselves. This is what's interesting to me. Yeah, this is his first real granted motion. I don't think so. I feel like there's too many players and this thing goes way deeper than anybody wants to admit. Not necessarily. They don't. If they do say if it comes to light that they didn't fire him and he lied, and they want it, hypothetically, say that is true, and they really want to be jackasses about it, I'm sure they could let the court know that he lied. I mean, there's always that. That's hypothetically, though. I don't know. Like, I just talk about him not being fired and him lying as like hypothetical, because it seems illogical based on everything that's gone on, that they would all of a sudden up and fire him the day he's supposed to be in Florida. Unless, hypothetically, this is all hypothetical, this is just me speculating, unless they fired him thinking that if they fired him, it would be okay for him not to show up.
Yeah, but here's another thing, though. When you put that motion in, sorry, I'm just trying to get everything together in my head, because you said a lot that makes a lot of sense. Right. Hypothetically, speculation. If, for example, we know the history of Lynette Preston and John Cook, we know that they have, I mean, if you ever want to get anything into town, you want everyone in town to know, just give them the information. They're like a town crier. Lynette has a very bad habit of playing the victim. So if she was not happy with Deuce Boy or the Fleet, Crampons, or anything else, it would go on Facebook. Now, when he put that motion in and stated that they fired him, there was not a peep. And to this day, still nothing. Lynette has not said anything, and John Cook has not said anything. And even the Crampons, the Fleas, have not indicated. So, speculation, allegedly, I think he lied in that motion. And I think the judges have realized that. But, you know, with the sanctions and everything else, who knows? Probably in a couple of months' time, Bruce may be talking Armenian. Who knows?
And hey, Rosalind, how are you this afternoon? I think they all knew he was going to say they let him go. It was just a play for time. That too. Like it's all just weird and shady and just does not. None of it adds up. None of it adds up.
I mean, the fact that, you know, the two last motions he put in, to be honest with you, the judge probably just looked at that and he went, you know what? Yeah, I'll do the sanctions later. I just want to get rid of this idiot.
Harry, you make me laugh. Yeah, tonight it'll all be twisted. Tonight, Squid, next thing you'll be related to Jeremy, maybe his sister now or something. Please don't twist.
No, don't you work for Jeremy?
No, not even close. Like, I don't even talk to Jeremy. Like, it's nothing like, okay, people think when I say, when someone says they don't talk to someone, people automatically think the worst. And like, we don't get along. It's like, no, we just stay in our own lanes. And with the exception of this case, our lanes don't intersect. Like, like I'm sure Jeremy wouldn't be interested in covering the NTSB report with me. Like, you know, I'm sure that that's not a thing that he would be interested in discussing, which is why, you know, our paths only cross certain period, you know. But here's my thing. Jeremy might actually be interested in the CNN defamation case from a couple months ago, where CNN got sued for defamation and lost big time. I'm sure that might be a case where he's interested in it, just because of the fact that a major news outlet got sued for defamation and lost. And it's a very interesting, like, because it's hard to prove. So the fact that a jury found CNN liable for defamation is it something Jeremy might want to just see how it, like, you know, mention to Randy, and I'm sure Randy knows about it, but like, hey, look at what happened and look at how the lawyers handled this. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's like lawyers are starting to become like, you know, those little things you used to get and you used to throw them at windows and they'd just go flop, and they would like what they call it? What? Used to, in the old days, there used to be these toys, right? And you'd throw them out a window, and what they would stick to the window, and then really slowly they would like lose traction, lose friction, and then they would start rolling down. What they called again?
That's got to be a British thing.
Yeah, it just went flop, 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 and it would go. I mean, I don't even know how to put this in America. I tried to put it in Americanese so everyone understands. Bruce Matskin is a lawyer who to be honest with you, was out of his depth with this case. He basically, and the fact that.
Just real quick, Jeff, MSNBC also lost millions for false reporting on the 17-year-old Nicholas Sandman. Yes, however, Nicholas Sandman was a settlement. The case that I'm talking about, that I started watching a couple months ago when I would used to do night court, Zachary Young actually went to a jury trial in New York. So it's one of those things of like, it actually made it to a jury trial. CNN did not settle. MSNBC settled with Sandman for an undisclosed amount. I think so did CNN, but in this case, CNN actually went to trial and lost. So it's well, I do think that I do think that them defending themselves might actually go better. Because
it probably will.
Like, honestly, like, I don't think Bruce did them any justice. I think they would be better, with the exception of writing documents, but I'm sure they could write better too. I just have a feeling that they would write better.
Yeah, but the thing is, Squid, here's the problem, right? He's been doing all this legal jargon stuff like that. And from what we witnessed when it came to Judge Grudge, Mr. Lurch himself, she didn't really get had a grasp of the understanding. She'd only have basic understanding because she was explained that by other people.
Yeah, Jeff, the Navy vet who was a contractor overseas. And it had to do with the extraction of people from Afghanistan during the god-awful. Yeah, I'm not even. Y'all don't want to let me know, or you don't want to know how much how my my opinions on the pullout of the Afghanistan debacle.
The Kabul incident. Kandahar. It was Kandahar, wasn't it?
Just all of it. All of it. This one was actually, it was recorded. It was streamed. And we did 2 parts of it. We were watching Zachary Young's testimony when, like, we moved and everything went to hell in a handbasket, and this blew up and all that. So like, yeah, if it's mentioned that I work for Jeremy, someone pass along to Jeremy that I want my paycheck. Because, don't employees get paid?
Whoa, time out. Eine Minute bitte, 1 minute por favore. Why didn't I receive this memo? Where's the memo I was supposed to receive about being paid for that I work for Jeremy Hales? Wait, what?
Yeah, right. Like,
I've heard this one before. Well, obviously I didn't get the memo, so I've been fired. Oh well.
So the stay, I don't think the original stay that the judge talked about, he never actually said a date. He just said it stayed from 30 days for 30 days, but he never said from when. So I think this was his, like, once he made a decision on this, then it was stayed for 30 days. So I don't think it's extended. I think, like, he said he was going to stay the case for 30 days, but there was some loose ends to tie up, mainly this issue of who's representing them. And then he would put in the 30-day stay. That's just based on reading. That's kind of the mentality that I got, especially because people kept filing motions. And there will be a response from from Randy by the 18th, responding to something. I gotta look at what he's responding to. Wait one.
And the sanctions are still incoming.
Oh yes.
So if Bruce thinks that he's going to walk away from this, yeah.
Document 132, referral and order 131, motion for attorney's fees filed by Lynette. Yep. LMNOP, defendants have filed a motion for attorney's fees. The court will require plaintiff to expedite his response. Accordingly, plaintiff must file a response to defendant's motion, document 131, on or before April 18th. Other than plaintiff filing his response to document 131, no further filings, absent a true emergency, should be submitted on this case until the court resolves the issue of sanctions against defendant's counsel and his pending motion to withdraw. So this discovery deadline is also stayed until further order of the court. That's the thing with the judge that I had a problem with. The fact that the judge stayed the discovery deadline, because that's what they were trying to do. In my opinion, they were trying to stall that discovery deadline, and it worked.
And also, this is the easy way of Bruce getting some money out of him.
It's just one of those, like, I felt like they were trying to stall, or not they, Bruce, because I don't know what Lynette and John are actually thinking, because I don't ever hear them talk, which is fine. Like, good for them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's not a complaint. That's you know, that's okay. It's just one of those things of, like, because I don't know what they're actually thinking, I always just say Bruce. And I felt like Bruce was trying to delay and delay and delay and delay.
And check private message.
I know. I'm okay.
Okay.
But they're. Oh, that wasn't mine. That was theirs. And Harry, thank you for the $5 super chat. We love you, Squid. Hales. You're gonna start this rumor, Harry, that I am. You're gonna start that rumor, and the thing about rumors is people believe that crap. Jeremy was the second shooter on the grassy knoll.
I mean, here's the problem that I've got. Well, not more of a problem, more of a.
If somebody tells that to him, I want to see their response, because that's just funny to me.
Oh God, Jeremy is. Here's the thing that I've got a problem with: the fact that this guy has spent 7 months plus causing all these problems. Now he's got an easy way out, right? And if Randy doesn't get his arse in gear and gets a response in, right, Bruce is going to make free money, considering that he's, you know, I mean, I don't know. I think that, like, ladies and gentlemen, this case is over for Lynette Preston and John Cook. Simple.
And Patrick, thanks for the $2 super chat. LMNOP probably does not understand what BBB filed. Maybe not, but I don't think that's a knowledge thing. I think I don't think that she was privy to what actually was filed. I for some reason, I think she didn't. I don't think she actually read what was filed, and I feel like if she actually read what was filed, she might be not happy.
Who are you talking about, Lynette?
Yeah.
I don't think she knows. I don't think that she's been shown any type of documentation whatsoever. Because if she would,
so either.
If she would, you know for a fact she is like a town crier. She would have been posting about it. You know that.
Jeff, I will have to look into that. I'm sure I don't really know that much about her. Like, to be honest, like, I hear things, but like I haven't actually, like, I hear this, I hear that. It goes in one ear and out the other. AT1, your hourly rate was $200. Yeah.
I mean, if you want to spread a story, spread a rumor, you know, she's one of the people you need to talk to.
I only saw that deposition that Megan did yoga to. That was it. That is my only, like.
Is that the one where she was sucking through that she was sucking so hard she could just suck the bowling ball through a fucking garden hose?
I don't really know, but it was the one where Randy kept asking her questions and she just kept deflecting, and she said no one was there, but I'm sure somebody else was there.
Oh no, of course he was there. You could see him in a reflection of the TV.
Yeah, I didn't watch the whole thing though. I only watched when Megan did her yoga stream, and that was it.
Oh right, okay.
Because I couldn't stand. I don't know. Like I have a really, really, really hard time with like secondhand embarrassment. Like I can't watch people be ridiculous, and like it's one of those like I just can't do it. But I can't even do it in movies. Like I can't watch movies. I can't watch TV shows where people embarrass themselves. Like I can't. I have this like it makes me anxious watching somebody else embarrass themselves. So when I saw what I saw, I was like, I can't.
That's a good one.
I can't like. But Roy, I'd be pissed if I was shocked at Sanction 4K and BBB Walks, but he's not done yet. The judge literally said that he still has the issue of sanctions. That just because he is not their lawyer anymore does not mean that he is relieved from sanctions. What this does open up the judge to do is file a bar complaint on his own.
Yep. And he's far from getting away with sanctions, that's for sure. And the judge made that absolutely clear in this motion.
If Squid think if all his subs must work for Jeremy, not if all of Jeremy's subscribers worked for him, he'd be broke.
Yeah.
Honestly, like you know what I mean? Like it just the logic. Not that they've said that, but like just the logic that everybody who supports you must be your employee. Just I can't. The math doesn't math. Like, oi. I just
polling booth for an IV tube. Yeah.
Rogue Mama. LP and JC can use Felice's help. She does know a lot about the law, and sometimes is mistaken for.
Oh shit! But the thing is, a lot of people, you know what's going to happen now. Yeah, you're going to get the crampons and everyone else and Skeletor and Mr. Magoo. They're all going to jump on it and go, "Yeah, we won. We did this. Yeah, we did that. Bruce has won. Blah blah blah." But what they don't realize, they've just taken two people. Okay.
Okay. Okay. I have to read this because this is.
Go
on. Hold on. Patrick, thank you for the $5 super chat. So if LP goes through 6 more lawyers, does John Cook get a free suitcase?
Oh God.
Please, no.
I'm sorry, but that is.
Oh my God. I'm just sorry. I just. Like, I don't know what to say to this one.
Oh shit! I pictured that as well. God damn it!
And speaking of suitcases, Sarah Boone's appeal in the Florida 6th District Court of Appeals is still not in and viewable for the public. Once it is, I will let you guys know and we will read it. But it is still not in. I check probably once every 4 or 5 days, and so once or twice a week. I just can't.
Okay, let me ask you a question. I'm going to stop you right now, right in your tracks. I'm stopping the train very quickly. What would you do if you were in a situation like in this situation? I mean, obviously you're not involved in any of this. You're just following the court case because you got dragged into this, right? And unfortunately, but. Let me ask you, because obviously you don't know everything that's happened over the last 1.5 to 2 years. What would you do if you found out that your lawyer put a motion in to dismiss himself and lied about the fact that you apparently fired him? And what would you do?
I'd throw a shit fit. I would write now that I'm technically pro se. I would write a motion to the court saying that is not true. Like, not to start any extra drama, but I would be like, no, he's not. No, you're not gonna, just because shit got hard for you does not mean you're gonna leave me. That's not how this shit works. And definitely you're not gonna lie to a federal judge about it.
What about the fact that
saying that's what happened, but if that did happen to me, and I did not, authorize that,
Mhm.
I would be pissed. I would be.
And
super
also,
pissed.
what about all the financial monetization and grifting that, if because obviously there's been no transparency. So what now that he's basically, slimed himself out of all this, and known full well that quite a large amount of money was collected by individuals who at one moment were your PR team and then suddenly decide that they're not your PR team, having a second problem about where's all this money gone.
Honestly, regardless of whether you are a fan of Lynette or you dislike her or hate her guts or you are her biggest fan, take all of that out of the equation. Just as a looking at this strictly from a legal standpoint, and I'm not a lawyer and I've never been mistaken for one. However, from a purely legal standpoint, I would be really, really, really upset if I were Lynette and John about how this case has been spun. All the infighting and all the back and forth that has nothing to do with the actual case would piss me off. It's not that her name is being dragged through the mud by Lee's or the other side, or by Hales supporters. It's not that Jeremy's name's been dragged through the mud by Lynette supporters, but from a purely legal standpoint, this has become a bigger spectacle. Like, I was not paying attention to this case until Bruce got involved. And then when Bruce wanted to, drag my name into it and talk about me, then I got involved. But like purely a legal this is not, like the judge said, this is a one plaintiff, two defendant case. This is not supposed to be as whatever this has turned into.
I mean, there's been a lot
from purely from a PR perspective and or a court of public opinion. I would want this to stay as quiet and of course you can't make it stay completely quiet because Jeremy is talking about it. However, I would limit the clapbacks from anybody. But that's just me. I'd be like, don't comment. Kind of like the British royal family, like
easy,
silent, and like like you say recollections may vary. You pull like Princess Catherine, you say recollections may vary, and you say no comment, and you just let one person, like whatever Jeremy wants to say, you just let people talk, and then you prove it with facts. Like not saying that I'm on any particular side. I'm just saying if this was me, I would, if I was Lynette, I'd be super pissed at Bruce right now.
I mean, the thing is, everyone has the right to have legal representation and professional legal representation.
Yeah, and I just don't believe from a legal spectacle, from a legal standpoint, that he did this case any positives.
Yeah. I don't know what it is, but sorry.
All I can think about is him just making this worse for them than it already was. It's one thing to have bad facts, but it's another thing to now have a bad facts and be a public spectacle.
I think the two major catalysts to causing this to get into the way it is was the crampons and Deuce Boy, and the fact that those two other idiots suddenly came on the scene. To try. I mean, there was a lot of deflection from one side, and the fact that not a lot was heard from Lynette Preston or John Cook, but the fact that other people, like Travis is standing in the shop next to her, you got John Cook walking past him, antagonizing. You got. I mean, there's a lot of stuff, but yeah, in regards of, funny enough, that me and what was it, Dave USMC must have said at the set. He typed it while I was thinking it.
Yeah,
is the fact that everyone is entitled to legal representation. But the fact that I don't think that that Lynette, even though I'm not going to waste any much time on this, I don't think that Lynette really got the legal representation that was made out to be said. I think that they just said, "Oh yeah, it's all right. We're dealing with it. This and this is happening. Yeah, we're dealing with it. That and that. And that's we're going to do this, and everything else." So basically, you got Bruce, you got the crampons, you got the little team there, bamboozling Lynette and John Cook, and them two are just going, "Yeah, you crack on.
And it's one of those things that people on the Lynette and John side say that I'm like a Jeremy simp. They don't use those exact words, but might as well.
A what?
That I'm like a Jeremy super fan, and I work for Jeremy, or I do this or I do that.
Don't we all work for him?
But well, beside the point. But when I have conversations like this, some of the people, not so much anymore, but when I first started covering this case, they would be like, "Well, you haven't heard about this. You haven't heard about this. You haven't heard about this." And it's like they would say that I'm like defending Lynette, and it's like, it's not that I'm defending her. I'm just pointing out common sense facts. Like, everybody's entitled to a defense, and just because someone might be in the wrong, they don't deserve to have a lawyer that makes things worse. Like, it's just not. Nobody deserves to have a lawyer that makes their case worse than it already is. Like, I just think that Bruce thought he was going to settle, and he didn't. And if it was any other lawyer, Jeremy and Randy might have been open to that conversation. Not putting words in their mouth, but if it was a lawyer that approached them professionally, say like Christopher Gage, which is MLS's lawyer in the second case, if from the sound of his motions, he has approached Jeremy as a professional, as an equal, not hating on Jeremy because of who his client is. It's one of those situations where there's this professionalism, and they might have entertained a conversation. Not saying that Jeremy would have went for any of it, but the conversation might have been there. I'm probably not going to, but let me just see what you have to say, because you're professional and I just want to see what you have to say. Whereas now it's like, no way he's settling, because you've tried to, this what the Hales ecosystem just made things worse. Like it, and unrelated, but did you see the story from Polk County? Guilty plea of a 24-year-old Joseph Voigt who killed his dad and then shot his mom in the head over being told to get a job and stop playing video games. I did hear about that case. I did not hear that he pled guilty. But tomorrow, speaking of teenagers or young kids who unalive their parents, tomorrow we're talking about the Wisconsin case of the Waukesha. Of course, it's always Waukesha. Waukesha was Darrell Brooks. Waukesha was the Slender Man. Teen Nikita Kassup from Pewaukee, which is my friends have a house on the lake right there. And I think they might actually be their neighbor, but that's beside the point. He is accused of unaliving both his parents, but there's a twist. The Waukesha teen killed his parents in extremist plot to assassinate Trump. This is the headline. So this case has taken I can't say simple, but like just a local case of a kid who got mad or had something against his parents for the way they raised him, whatever, and decided to take things into his own hands, to a national
clickbait.
Well, to a political revolution is what the sound of this article are trying to get into. He had a manifesto, an extremist group manifesto laying out plans to launch a political revolution. We're going to talk about that tomorrow morning, 9:00, 9 a.m. So that's tomorrow morning's fun. I have opinions on that. Being from that town, that's where I graduated high school. Like, thank you. I'm literally in my pajamas.
I mean, what the hell was going on over there?
In here or
Oh, in
Wisconsin?
general over there, it's like aviation, core, freaking, plots.
I don't know. Jen says, thanks for the £5. It was a strategic move. If he stayed on the removal of Pro Hoc Vice would go on his record. He knew he was screwed. That's a really good point. That is a really good point. I did not even, for some reason, the revoking Pro Hoc Vice did not even like cross my mind as like a, if you withdraw, it's not permanent that you withdraw. People withdraw all the time. It's not a strike against you, but removing your Pro Hoc Vice is. Thank you. I totally forgot that even was a thing.
But don't forget, he has been terminated. He hasn't been removed with removal. He's been terminated. So maybe that's the posh word of saying, yeah, bye-bye, Pro Hoc Vice, you're fired. And also, can someone stop this planet so I can get off, please?
Elon, can I go to Mars? I volunteer.
I'm going to Uranus. Sorry.
I just can't with you sometimes.
I'm sorry.
Grandpa, here. This one to get back at you for that. Grandpa Smoney is up past his bedtime.
Don't.
Yeah, it's
pick on Spawn Night tonight, is it?
Rebecca Aaron, who are the 10? I must have missed something. In the second case, there's 10 defendants. So it's, but for those who are like, she only covers this. Well, Bruce proved in his last motion that I only I cover other things, and we've been covering other things. I haven't done a What the Hales stream since last week. And yes, do these get better rating or better views? Yeah, these get like 3,000 to 4,000, whereas my other ones get like 300 to 1,000. So like, yeah, technically these get better views, but I'm hoping that some of y'all will join me over there. Since there's a little lull here, I'm hoping that some of y'all will join me for the NTSB stuff. And I'm that NTSB man. I'm starting, but there's rabbit holes. Like somebody commented today that they were on rewatch and they made a couple of comments, and I'm like, you can go down that.
Mama, Spawn, take me with you.
No, wait.
No,
I actually have info that goes back online to Russia connection as well with the Nikita Katsup. Oh, thank you, Harry. You're so sweet.
Just a quick one for you, Squid. After we finished our conversation, I actually went in and done a little bit of digging into some of the the routes, and you may as well get yourself like a head torch and some caving gear, because the rabbit hole that we're going towards is going to be quite deep. Just so you know, I haven't sent you any of it because even I had like a murmur when I started reading it.
So Debbie, but isn't this judge ruling on BBB's motion to withdraw, but on a future motion, BBB withdraws his motion? So where does that leave this ruling? He didn't withdraw his motion. He filed the other one, the attorney's fees one, as the four motions into one, and then he filed his response for why he shouldn't or should get sanctioned, which literally was just him trying the whole case in a motion, and which is weird to me, and slightly inappropriate. Oh, Tammy, thank you. Some of us found you because of What the Hales, but we stay because of you, and I appreciate it. And I hope some of y'all decide to stay and follow me on this other. And we still have the second case to worry about, and we still have this after 30 days.
And also the fee part is exactly the same thing what happened in Connecticut, and that's why there's a disciplinary going on in Connecticut. He's doing exactly the same what he did there. Just so you're aware of that.
Sorry. When you're on, I'm asleep. Sorry. I'm just not a night person. I love that you're covering the NTSB stuff. Well, yeah, because like I said, I'm not an aviation expert. I'm not an aviation expert by any means, but I live with one. He might not say that he's an expert, but he's my expert. And I love him for that. But sometimes when I ask him questions, he's like, what? Why? And so, but I was also, in a past life, I was also a figure skater. And on this flight were a lot of children who were at a high level U.S. figure skating development camp, and were on their way back home to Boston, the Skating Club of DC, the Skating Club of Boston, the Skating Club of Delaware, and were all their parents and their coaches were all lost too. So it's a major hit for, and it's just sad. And certain things just don't make sense to me. So, and Triggered Andy, if I'll open or welcome, I'd love to join. Can you?
Actual fact, I just had an idea, Squid.
What?
In regards to the NTSB report that we were discussing, if anyone actually knows any current serving members in the Air Force or pilots or anyone who flies helicopters and uses NVGs, could you find out in regards if there's a separate training packet for flying any aircraft with NVGs over there?
All opinions are welcome. Will there be PBR when we review the Wisconsin Kids Manifesto? No, because I would probably I am not one to, well, I don't really drink anyway, but I'm never one to really get, I believe drinking PBRs and reading that manifesto, if it's even fully available, would not be I would drink too much. And that's just not a good thing to do on the internet, because no, you'll never see me drunk on a live stream ever.
I don't drink at all. But I can play drunk. I'll fucking sit and fucking.
Yeah, and that's my thing. If nobody contact anybody that we're talking about in this live stream. If you do, I will ridicule you till the end of time. But do not contact anybody here or anybody that we talk about. But if the judge, I wonder if there's a loophole or something, because if he's working behind the scenes but he was fired, is that some sort of ethical conundrum?
No, because he still needs to represent them until they are found or he is replaced by another lawyer. That's the only reason he is still and plus obviously he needs to give them all the documents and everything else, so therefore he still needs to be the bridge between the courts and any documents and them.
And Abby, most of don't watch because of Jeremy. Don't get me wrong, I love Jeremy, but watching Bubbles and the ecosystem screw up, it's just hilarious. I've never seen such idiocy. Honestly, I went into this case when Bubbles did not do it, but threatened to call CPS on me.
Yep.
I went into this case that I am not pro Jeremy, I am not anti Lynette, I am not pro or anti anybody, except I am going to scrutinize the absolute shit out of Bubbles and make fun of him at every opportunity because of the fact that he talked about my daughter. And apparently they're still doing that. I was sent a screenshot by a few people the other day that mentioned something about baby squid. And I'm like, no, y'all are just
I think it's jealousy and envy that you are a perfect mother.
I am by no means a perfect mother. By no means. By no means.
No, I think this is what I was saying the other day is people need to look at themselves before they look at other people, because you can't. No one has the right to judge anybody until you judge yourself. And there's going to be people like that.
And Kasha, I did see the guy who tried burning down the governor's house in Pennsylvania. Here's the thing: I don't ever advocate. I don't ever advocate ever for political violence. Never, ever, ever, ever. But when certain people have said it's okay to attack people that you don't agree with, there's a certain point in time, when those people are going to support something that certain other people don't agree with, like, I don't know, being Jewish. And I believe this was the fact that he was Jewish and it was Passover. So people tend to eat their own eventually. You see it all the time when people are on the wrong side of history. They tend to implode and start turning on each other. Like the people who attacked Teslas. Dumbest thing you can do, because Teslas have 24/7 surveillance. So one, it's the dumbest thing you can do. But Tesla is an electric car, so you cannot advocate for electric vehicles and then attack people with electric vehicles. It just, the math doesn't math. It's just, do not, like, how about we just say we can agree to disagree? We have different opinions on things, but do not ever advocate for destroying anybody's property because you don't like their opinion. Like, it's just not, no, that's just stupid. That's just stupid. Like,
Yeah,
at the end of the day, it would be funny to blow bubbles on a live plane. Hey, goodbye. They probably won't get a strike for music. Oh my God. Not if I try to do an AI version. Yeah, the Tesla stuff is stupid, but I do giggle a little.
I mean, Tesla has lost a lot of shares, haven't they? They've gone down.
Not really. They've rebounded pretty well. So
I know that there was a lot of people in Germany and Sweden running around with fire extinguishers full of orange paint, and they redecorated some of the Tesla places. I saw a video of it. I mean, wonder if we can employ them as paint and decorators.
Nah. Yeah, and thank you. They better leave our baby squid alone, or they'll release me pissed off Cornish maid. They don't want that. It's just weird to me that, like, I just like, I was asked a question about a child, and all I said was, it's only about the child, and I'm worried about the child. I didn't even say how I was worried about the child. I didn't say I was worried about the child because of Lynette's parenting. I didn't say I was worried about the child because of John being there. I just said I was worried about the child, and that could be from anything. From
Cornish. Yeah, don't mess with corns.
I could worry. I could be worried about her because of the fact that she is in the middle of a shit show. Like, anybody would be worried about the child in the middle of so much legal crap and YouTube stuff from both sides, and like just so much distraction from actually caring for her. That's the
So let me ask you a question. So what do you think the overall outcome is going to be with Deuce Boy, with aka him?
Before I get to that, I have to address Patrick's question. Tesla is the new Volkswagen. If you know, you know.
Oh my God, Patrick!
People that destroy Teslas while driving Volkswagen. I saw a picture of a Volkswagen that had a anti-Tesla thing on it. I'm like, do you know how Volkswagen started? Do we really want to go down that history lesson when you're calling the owner or the CEO of Tesla and the owner of Tesla a Yahtzee? But guess how Volkswagen started?
In regards to Tesla, I read somewhere, I can't remember. I'll see if I can find it when I was doing a bit of research on stuff. There's a family or a couple who have taken a battery, the complete set of battery from a Tesla, and actually connected it to their solar system. So they've got freaking, they can live off the grid. I was like, that's not a bloody bad idea, actually.
Triggered Andy. It's like, tell me that you don't know the history. Like, tell me you haven't studied history and you don't know history without telling me. It's you destroy a Tesla. You call Elon Musk a Yahtzee while driving a Volkswagen.
Yeah, I'm not going down that rabbit hole. I studied that shit. Not going there.
Like, tell me the irony in that.
Ich werde nichts sagen heute Abend. Ich werde Englisch sprechen. Jawohl.
But I did see 2 Cybertrucks today. 2 Cybertrucks. 2 different ones because they had distinct paint jobs. They are ugly as sin.
I've
Like-
seen one and it was gold. Well, the whole thing was gold,
So-
metallic gold, or not gold, like.
Wait, Mama Squid, Mom, what did we get? Text me. What did we get that we have to regift? Like, I'm seeing like I'd regift it, like definitely a regift. Like what did I miss? Oh, it's just one of those like, yeah, I have empathy for her, but not her actions. There's the like you can have empathy for someone is in a crappy position, but not like their personality. Like
Yeah.
I am not that evil of a person. Most of the time you and I have talked, I tend to be quite evil, which is sometimes why when shit hits the fan, I exit stage left before I enter evil. Because ain't nobody want to see that. Not even me, because it is not pretty. And so I exit stage left before I do or say things that you can't come back from.
The thing is, though, she like I I mean, everyone is entitled to their opinion. Everyone's entitled to legal support. But the thing is, when you make a bed and then you pee in that bed, but you continue to lay in that bed, the only person who's to blame is yourself.
Yeah.
You know, and the thing is, when someone turns around to you and says, "Stop, don't do this, move on." Holy shit! You could freaking. How big is that freaking cup?
40 ounces? It's a Stanley.
Why don't you just get a hose pipe and drink from that? Because that freaking thing, you could feed a small village with that cup.
I have to drink. Well, I went outside and I worked in the garden, and it's 85 degrees outside, so it's slightly
huge.
warm.
Oh, it's a Stanley cup. So how much you pay for that? 80?
No, I got them for Christmas. So
Jesus.
yeah, anybody who doesn't like what Jeremy is doing could have avoided all this by leaving him alone. There is this thing I feel like on social media, and this is just a psychology thing. Like when we see someone in real life in a store doing something stupid, 9 times out of 10, we just turn around and we walk away because I'm not involving myself in that shit. However, for some reason, when people on the internet see a video or a post or something they don't like, something compels them to let everybody know their opinion, even where it's not wanted.
As far as I'm concerned, all he's done is protect himself, and he's been blamed for that. He's been ridiculed for keeping records, being transparent, and being what you call it. There's a word for it. Oh bugger! But the thing is, he all he has done is protect himself, and he's basically had transparency and accountability. I mean, at the end of the day, if you drive past someone's property and someone points a freaking weapon at you, a pew at you,
yeah,
that's
somewhere illegal in any state.
Yeah, and that's and to be honest with you, do you know what? My car would look like a freaking Google car. I'd have fucking cameras coming out of every orifice of that vehicle just to make sure that we've got accountability.
I have 4 40-ounce Stanleys. However, I only bought one for myself. My sister-in-law got me a Stanley Cup like 3 years ago, or 3 or 4 years ago for Christmas. And I used it every day. So I decided for Christmas I was going to buy myself a glittery one because I like bling. And it has a Rosalind's sticker on it. So if you go to Rosalind's merch store, she has "Calm down, maybe you need a menopause, stupid," a la Stu Moran on Facebook.
Oh my god, 50 quid for a freaking. Oh, I like that camouflage one though.
But then my mom got me one for Christmas this past year, and so did my sister-in-law. So now I have 4, but I've only bought one for myself.
There you go, records, yeah, forthcoming as well. Also good. 50 quid are over here. £50. So that's about 60, 70 pounds for you. Dollars for you.
I don't know. I got mine for like I said, I don't buy anything at regular price because
I wonder if Deuce Boy's got one.
I don't know. It's kind of a girly thing. I don't know many men who use Stanley Cups.
Well, if he gets put in jail, he's going to need to learn how to suck. I mean, sorry, what?
Hey, sorry, I'm late watching Navy stuff. Hey, Paul, and you were the one who commented on the video, on the NTSB video from this morning that made another rabbit hole. Yeah, like, and then Mom bought one for Christmas. I bought one for Baby Squid, my mom, and my sister-in-law for Christmas. Like I said, I don't buy anything at regular price though, so you know.
Well, I do have a 2-liter jug that I put water in. 2 liters, it's about the same size as that one, just a bit bigger and higher, and it takes 2 liters of water.
Mark, better get the shower working at Turd Purgatory. LP will throw herself on the jury. Oh my god.
Oh god.
Oh my god. Yes, please. I have it somewhere. I don't have the link, but I have the I have it saved on my bookmark, so I can put it in there. Rosalind has a whole bunch of merch. I have merch too, but like, you know, Rosalind's is better.
So, all right, let me ask you a leading question then, Squid.
Leading
What
question.
is your overall opinion of the outcome of this first court case? Obviously, the second federal court case is basically a countersuit, but the first one, what do you think the outcome is going to be for excuse me, Lynette Preston and Superboy, John Cook? I mean, basically their case is now, my opinion, they're
I don't exactly know. I think it's going to be hella hard to find another attorney who looks at this case and says, oh yeah, I'll take that shit show on. I think it's going to be it's going to be hard for them to find an attorney.
considering two lawyers have basically jumped ship.
Oh yes, I will be going over that one too, Daniel. Right now we're on 5342. Then we have the crash of the what was it? The transplant team in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
We will also be going over the one from Canada if I can find the Canadian version of an NTSB report.
Yeah.
And then that one too. There's so many that there's so many. But also in addition to my merch store, I do have a new Amazon. Like I made an Amazon list because y'all kept telling me to update it, but instead of a housewarming, because it's been 2 months, I just put stuff on that I'm going to it's not vital that I have like now, but it's like if someone wants to contribute, instead of sending me a super chat where YouTube takes 30%, I have a furniture fund gift card for Amazon, so you know where your money's going.
Exactly.
I'm transparent like that. Like y'all, if you support my channel, even by liking and subscribing and sharing the stream, I appreciate it. But if you do want to contribute, but you're like, Google has enough money, I would appreciate it if you want to do it this way. If not, that's fine. It's free. Like just watching and supporting that way is and Kay, I'm a bit behind. I thought the judge wasn't going to let BBB get out of it. Not the sanctions. The sanctions is still an issue. However, you can't force somebody to be someone's attorney, especially if they were fired. And we still have things of like, we don't truly know if he was fired or if he quit and they just said he was fired to get him out. I don't know. I'm not privy to that information. However, it is a thing. Hold on one.
I mean, the thing is, I don't think they actually really know what's happened. I mean, he could have turned around to him and told him, said, "Look, I can't carry on doing this, blah blah blah," and they've gone, "Oh right, okay," and he's basically put that motion in, but they're still not aware of it because, like, they've shown no type of reaction to that motion where he said they fired him, and also. Just because there's a difference between being fired or released and terminated. If he's been terminated by the judge, right, he's still going to get sanctioned. There's still a, as they say, a shitstorm. Oh God!
Sorry, I know it's quite inappropriate, but my child is listening to Wild and Out, and I just heard something, and the response is, "If I'm Skinny Minaj, you're Doja Fat." I'm like,
my beloved queen is asleep. So,
oh my goodness.
Okay, you're not okay. All right. Okay.
Let's just the LP freak out when a U.S. Marshal shows up just to ask her if she's received the files as ordered. I'm not sure if anybody like. I don't know. I don't know if that I don't think that'll happen anyway, but
do you have recorded mail over there? So where he has to, I mean, if he's been ordered by the judge to send it to them, wouldn't he have to send that via recorded mail?
I am not sure. I'm not sure. BBB has brought out the worst in everyone. Look what he's done to the president of the Two Fleas fan club who stirs the shit pot in his garage. Oh yeah.
I didn't realize he was the presidente.
Yeah, I was like, I had to think about that one for a minute.
El Presidente or Bone Crusher, Bone whatever.
And I still don't know. Like, I've never actually watched any of his. Like, I have no desire to go search.
Once I did. I
have no desire, as I'm sure he has no desire to look at my content either. I'm sure it's mutual. And there's no hard feelings there. It's just like don't care. Like, it's not necessarily once again, sometimes when I say I don't watch people or I don't have time for people, it's not, there's nothing.
Look at JK's fucking comment.
Too late.
Those who steer the shit pot should have to lick the spoon first.
Y'all go off the rails with this.
Oh shit! I need to mute myself.
The judge screaming, I have anxiety over the roof. And I've said it before. And I'll say it again. Like, no matter what side of the aisle, so to speak, you fall in this case, you have to admit there has been some pretty damn interesting sound bites from both sides. I'm just saying, like, you have to admit that it is just
both sides.
Funny.
Not from both sides. It's like, yeah, from quite a lot of people. I mean,
from all sides, because I've heard Jeremy say some things where I'm like, oh, I wish I could have that sound right recorded. Like, that would be, like, they're not quite as memorable as Anxiety Over the Roof and Plead the Fifth, but Jeremy has said some things that are quite hilarious that can be used as quite funny sound bites as well. It's just funny.
Yeah.
And some of his expressions that he uses when he talks about certain things, like when he gets out of court and he makes the video, because that's what I watch, because I want to know what I am fascinated with this judge. I am fascinated with this judge. I would love to talk to this judge. Not on my YouTube channel, just like I would like to have a conversation with him and like just to see where his mind is at in regards to everything, not this case, just the law in general. Like, I am just fascinated by how this judge writes, his past history, being a law professor, clerking for different justices. Like, I would just like to.
I'm looking forward to this thumbnail case with Judge Davis, because
oh yeah,
he doesn't mess about either, does he? You all right, then?
Yeah, I will say Jeremy does his intentionally for it seems like that he knows that they're going to be funny and he says them because they're going to be funny. I think Lynette doesn't realize the funny how funny she is. Like it I don't think that she realizes how funny some of the things that she says are. Like, and if I were her, like, I would have a sense of humor about it. I would make merch. Like, you want to fund your tortoise rescue, or you want to fund certain things, make merch that says I have anxiety over the roof. Like, make merch.
Didn't they try to do that at one point?
Well, the polyflop thing is not good merch, but anxiety over the roof is.
Oh no! Who was his name? Jabba the Hoot. Oh God.
I have no idea who that is.
Oh, Mr. Unsuper Dave, whatever his name is. He made
the guy from my hometown.
Yeah, he said, I plead the fifth match a long time ago. That didn't last long, did it?
All right.
Yeah, I just find this whole situation. I'll be honest with you, the whole thing is just so bizarre now. I'm surprised it's gone on this long.
I just can't believe it's gotten to this point. It's ridiculous. And the judge made a really good point. He's like, we have at the time, I think like 118 motions or something like that. He's like, we're not even through with discovery yet. Like, like, what the hell? Like, what the hell? Like, ugh. Yes, I would love to see how his mind works and what makes him tick. That is my, like, I'm so curious. Like, I just, some of those people that just fascinate you on how they got where they got and how they think. He's one of those people. Hey, Taz. It's just, I don't know. This case has gotten way out of hand.
Yeah. But to Shirley and Joseph, here's the thing about the crampons, right? His
name is still Content Krampus and Crampons still make me laugh all the time. And I just
anything that comes out, any noises that comes out of that hole they call a mouth in their face, right? Just ignore it, because just wait until they go for a dump. They'll make more sense then.
It's one of those like
red or white rose. What are you on about?
Red or white or rosé.
Rose. I mean, what you mean? What roses I give to my beloved queen? A mixture, yellow, red, and white.
She didn't take a nap today. Now I understand why she didn't listen to me when I told her to turn the volume down. She's passed out.
But it'll usually be red, or I'll just give her a bunch of leek.
The little one fell asleep on the chair. I'll take care of her, hon. I'm done here. She is on Daddy's chair and she fell asleep.
Has she?
Yeah.
What's her cotton socks, eh?
Oh. All right. On that note, I gotta get going.
Hi, Taz.
Okay. TLDR. Bruce is out, but sanctions are still not settled yet. He will still try to get he will still get sanctions. It's just the judge has not decided, and as of today, it's a 30-day stay, including discovery. So, yeah.
Remember, guys, hit that thumbs up.
Afternoon, darlings. Done with PT today for my shoulder replacement. So glad I made it to your live. Say a quick hello, goodbye. And when is or did you already have your shoulder replacement, or are you doing prehab? I'm going with Everclear. Oh my goodness. All right. Y'all have a great day. I will see you guys tomorrow morning, 9:00. We are talking about Nikita Kassup, the Waukesha County teenager who is accused of unaliving his parents with a potential plot to overthrow the government. This case took a turn. So on that note, I will see you guys tomorrow. Yes, can you, on your way out, can you hit the like button? 370 in chat and only 199 likes. Well, 218 likes, but there's still some of y'all who haven't done your job.
Okay.
All right. Shoulder replaced 2 weeks ago today. Oof. Good luck. And if you have any issues and PT is not quite doing it for you, ask for OT. Because OT is my heart and soul is occupational therapy. So, y'all. Bye, guys. Have a great day. I'll see you on the next one. And remember, sometimes you just need to make fun of yourself, because if you make fun of yourself, what anybody else says doesn't matter.
Exactly. Look at me. I broke my toe the other day.
Too tired to care, but too petty not to laugh. Y'all have a great night.
Good night. Masalama. Bonne soirée. Adios. Good night.
Bye.
Konbanwa.